All right, what's the best 357 Magnum round in comparison to the old Winchester Black Talon? This is the Ranger SXT, and you're going to see a common theme here. This Winchester is known to be supposedly a good round, but it's a 180 grain. The rest of the rounds I have up here are rounds that I think are probably the best you can get currently. And the common theme is they are all 125 grain. And that is because out of a 4-inch barrel like this 4-inch Smith & Wesson 686, back in the day, the Remington or the Federal semi-jacketed hollow point, moving at about 1450 feet per second, was that round that said 96% one-shot stop. It is a number that even currently other cartridges are compared to, even though this is kind of an old antiquated revolver. So we're going to see how all these compare to this Black Talon and how they compare to each other. You know, the Black Talon isn't necessarily that old of a design, you know, about 30 years. This is a lot older. And then we have two current rounds. So what we have here is our Critical Defense 125 grain FTX with our flex tip, and our 125 grain Gold Dot with our Gold Dot bullet, also known as a deep curl hollow point Gold Dot. It's pretty much the Gold Dot they put on 357 SIG, 357 mag, and light for caliber bullets. So we got some old school, we got a little bit older school, we got newer school, and we got probably the newest school out there. But these three here, 125 grain, 1450 feet per second. That's a pretty good stopping power statistic. But my thought is, you know, with our semi-jacketed, there's a lot of fragmentation. With stuff like this, not so much. So we're going to do our 4-inch barrel test, and I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm not going to do my normal format. What I'm going to do is just plain gel, no denim, no MDF. This is going to be our best case scenario, where we don't have to hit something hard. We don't have denim to clog a hollow point. Just our absolute best case scenario. Comparing these 4 rounds, how will they all do to each other, compared to each other? And I have been wondering about that Black Talon as well, because I did not get very good expansion with the MDF and denim on it. And I'm gonna run this in true slow motion, which is something I normally don't do, so I'm not going to have a picture-in-picture at the same time I shoot. So I'm going to shoot them all. We're going to watch them in slow motion, and then we're going to analyze this, pull those bullets out, and take a look at them. And then I think I'm going to shoot one shot from 75 yards at my full-size steel silhouette up there. And you might see I have my 10-inch gong in the center there. I'm going to aim for that. And one shot, one kill. We'll see which round might be able to do it better. So let's get started with this test. All right, I'm gonna put 4 shots in this block. I'm gonna start with the Black Talon, then I'll move on to the old school Remington, and then I'm gonna move on to the Gold Dot, and then into the Critical Defense. So here's our Black Talon. Here's our old school Remington. Here's our Gold Dot. Wow. All right, I apologize about that. There's nothing I can do. I don't have any water out here. We're gonna move on last to our Critical Defense. All right, let's take a look after we look at that slow-mo. All right, so here's our bullets pulled from the block. This is our, our semi-jacketed hollow point. This was at 15 inches. I don't have a scale that'll weigh that, but that's definitely a lot lighter than 125 grain. This appears to have all that weight there. This was also at 15 inches. Our critical defense. Our gold dot was at 15.5 inches. And the petals look more pronounced. And our black Talon here, just massive talons. Very, very sharp, perfect expansion. This was at 20 inches. So if I had to take a look at these right now, I mean, obviously this does good, but it's not as impressive on the end. The two impressive looking ones that are actually legitimate rounds, I would not consider this one legitimate because it's so old, our gold dot and our critical defense. Both of those did quite well. Our gold dot looks prettier, but I'm not really seeing a major difference there. That's very interesting. Now I'm going to shoot from that 75 yards. See which one of these rounds I can make a hit with. All right, 75 yards from the target. I have my 75-yard marker down here. So my point here is to do whatever I have to do to make these hits. Not try to show off or anything and shoot double action, but go single action. I'm going to do the same order as the gel. I'm going to start up with our black Talon. This is 180 grain, so I'm not really sure where this is going to hit. But it's kind of hard to even aim high because the sight is much larger than the 10-inch plate up there. So I'm just going to aim on the plate and see if I can make a shot with this black Talon. I went over the target or something. I'm going to move on to the UMC. Aim right on it, make a good shot if I can. And it looks like I hit a little bit to the left. Next up we have our gold dot. Right in the center there. Looks like I got closer, but not the plate. Critical defense. I may have pulled that. That may be on me. So this test isn't necessarily as scientific as I can get. However, with the hits I got, the old school ones, well, I had one hit with the UMC, not any with the black Talon. I missed the critical defense, but I hit that gold dot really close. And I was aiming at the same spot, right in the middle of that plate there. Now, like I said, it's not necessarily scientific. It could be on me that I pulled those shots. However, judging by what I'm seeing on my own personal take on this, if I had just these 8 rounds to do this test on and I had to come up with, what one would I actually carry based on everything I saw here, it's going to be the gold dot, just because it hit closer to where I aimed. It went a ½ inch deeper than the rest of the 125 grains, but did not over penetrate. We were right on touching the edge of that block coming out, the first block, 15.5 inches. So I'm going to say the gold dot design at that type of velocity is probably better than the rest of those. So that's what you get today. Not necessarily a scientific test, but fun anyways. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.